Dr. Madzorera, thank you very much for having us as News Digest TV. Tine urombo nenyaya dzatakanzwa dzemaricals idzi. Makazvigamuchira zvakadii?
Well, haisikwatiri zvinongoita kunge mahumbwe evakuru. Saka zvina kutivhundutsa, zvina kutishamisa, taizviexpecta. Tinowanza kuziva regime agenda yayo. It's a failed regime. All they want is to destroy our movement, which is very strong and many times stronger than the ruling party. So they are afraid, they want to destroy it. They did it, they tried Madzorera zvikaponiwa. They are trying now through different channels. Isu hatangozvitorawo. It's part of the struggle, but we are not moved by it, we are not unfazed by it, we are not worried. Mahumbwe kwatiri.
Right, chiremba highlighta kuti makazvitarisira kuti you were going to be recalled. Pangave nechaita kuti mutarisire zvakadaro chi, pangave nezvikonzero.
Well, first of all, even pakaitika my-elections, tikavabhura strength, vakadrika. We knew they were not happy. Vanhu vane hasha dzegurwe chaidzo dzokudambura gumbo. So we knew they were going to start with shenanigans okutry kuita weekend the Triple C. So then we started seeing some leakages in the public domain, social media. Mazita ingonzi vana vacharikoliwa tozonzwa kuti kune munhu anonzi Tshabangu ari kuzviti ndiye secretary general womusangano wedu. Tozoona mazita edu achingobudawo ipapo. Akabuda for probably 3 or so weeks or more tisati tarikoliwa. But we knew that was a happening of things to come. We knew that zvinhu zvava zvichazouya. Vanhu vanga vari kuronga tsoro yavo. Tsoro yavo iri kuramba asi vari kutsvaka kuti vangaite kuti iite sei. So we knew it was coming, and eventually when it came, it was not a surprise. But anongori mahumbwe ataitarisira.
Okay. In Kwekwe, 3 councillors were recalled. Imanga muripo pa those 3 councillors were recalled. Why do you think you were specifically targeted about 3 women?
There is no real legal reason why we were targeted. The objective here regime, let's be very clear who is recalling. Vanhu vazhinji vari kushora Tshabangu. Tshabangu is a non-entity, is nothing in this whole gameplay. He's a pawn. He's being used by real big guys who have something to lose. So tinomregera Tshabangu is nothing really. We know who is doing it. Right?
These real guys, they are in Triple C or maybe outside Triple C.
ZANU-PF, let's be very clear. This is ZANU-PF and its top leadership. Those are the people who have hired Mashama kuti aite zvinhu izvi. And we know.
Okay. Takatarisa Tshabangu. Vari kuti ivo vaShabangu vari kuti ndine nhoroondo ne-opposition politics kubva iri MDC ndaive kuma-structures nekuzochinja kwayakaita kunosvika yava Triple C ndaive muma-structures e-opposition struggle. Munovaziva here murume anonzi Tshabangu?
I don't know kuti nhoroondo yavanotaura ndeyei. There is nothing amazing or extraordinary chaakaita Tshabangu in the opposition movement. Nothing, absolutely. That's number 1. Number 2, ma-structures anotaura ndeapi? Hatina ma-structures akadero Triple C. Ngarege kutora ma-structures okuzanu kana MDC, MDC Alliance kana MDCT achiuya nawo Triple C. We've got structures dzedu dzaasingazive iye. Haatombozivi kana kuti symbol yomusangano yakamira sei. So he can't claim to be a member of the Triple C. He never joined us with Triple C. We never saw him. You see? So nhoroondo yake ngaiperere ikoko, akaperera ikoko. Nokupanduka kwake kwese kwaaita, we have nothing to do with that. Those are his personal choices. Ngaarege kuda kuuya kuTriple C through the back door. Ngaajoine zvakanaka. Indiri mu Citizens National Assembly. Yesterday we had a very successful Citizens National Assembly meeting, which is the national meeting, policy making body, Triple C. And all those guys are not triple C, haina structure, haina chi aiwa. Ndivana musoro bangu. Varuda tiche structure, vanogona kuita infiltrate you. And we are not going to satisfy their desire. We have structures, we're a solid party. That's why we could run an election and win it. Vakazoriga but takawina by a huge margin. And vanozviziva vana Mnangagwa nevamwe vapenzi. Takawina with a huge margin.
Okay, man. Takuchuya takatarisa these recalls in light with service delivery. Zvino impact zvakadii service delivery muguta. Zvine impact here ku service delivery muguta redu rekwekwe. Your recalls.
Zvine impact huru because our team as councillors had jailed in. We had done a lot of workshops, you know, to gel in and really form what we call a team. We had undergone training, we had undergone induction, and we had already finished doing the budget consultations with all the wards in Kwekwe and with various important stakeholders. And we've gained a lot of experience in the last 2 weeks. And a lot of money has been expended in all those processes. The taxpayers' money has been used. And suddenly, soon after you begin to recall my councillors for no good reason. Councillors who have been trained and positioned, you are wasting money, your taxpayer. Service delivery, say, now we have to redo the whole process again. You are chewing into the same budget and wasting the same taxpayers' money. How do you do service delivery? Panema zvino zvirongwa zvatata toita kudhara nenyaya dzekutenga equipment like refuse removal. Pane urongwa hwatata kutofunga mumamines medu about how to revamp our water and sewage treatment plants, how to improve them and so forth. These are things that were still in our minds to discuss. We had not yet implemented those things. And now that's wasted. It means the councillors of Asara have to start again from square one to rethink those issues. That's unfair to the citizens who have elected their own representatives to be in council and improve service delivery.
Okay. For the short time you were mayor of the city of Kwekwe, what are the highlight moments so far?
You know, 2 months is not a long time, especially if you're a newcomer in the game. But we've done well, we've done everything necessary to lay a good foundation. I would say the major highlight is the foundation that was laid. You would want to note that a normal regular full council meeting. Yes, we had about 2 extraordinary full council meetings, specifically convened for certain purposes, to consider certain issues. Like the first one was about electing office bearers. The second one was about some urgent human resources issue. But we have not had an ordinary regular full council meeting. So there cannot be too many highlights. I think the highlights for a council would include the kind of changes we make within the city, the bylaws we have in mind, and how we have it in mind to improve the order in the city. That from stakeholders. I think if we were to choose one highlight, it's the stakeholder consultations that we did. Those were very important because stakeholders were able to tell us precisely how they want the city run. My vendors are going to impress because they had very concrete propositions to do to council. And apart from Tero, I think about that is a storeholder with the same amount of money, but that is for okay supermarket. Let's differentiate according to the size of the business and so forth. Let's do this and that to make our city clean, improve our water services, sheds, toilets to improve sanitation within the city. Vending sanitary facilities. All those things to me are the highlights of what we've done so far. Listening to the citizens. Is service providers.
Your reign was cut short. What did you have in mind, maybe for posterity?
You know, I think if our council over the 5-year period was able to fix nyaya provision of water, constant, consistent provision of safe drinking water to all areas within Kwekwe. Without nyaya kuti ezvinoda kumbovhara mbizo kuti mvura isvike kuchikako, ezvinoda kumbovhaiwa. That's one deliverable which we had in mind to make sure, because those are the things, life and death. That's how you prevent cholera and typhoid and so forth. Then issues of sanitation, all the blocked sewages, all the vandalized sewage pipelines. Zakawanda, I mean, I always quote the one in Commonwealth Empire because that's my road and I farm every day. But Zakawanda, that is not acceptable in the city. That's another legacy. Functional sewage pipes. Then street lighting is another legacy. It's very important for security. It's very important for the beauty of the city. There are many areas without street lighting. Chicago, Finchley, many low density areas. High density there is some tower lights already. But there are some which are not functional, and there are some areas and often what tower lights. Then the last legacy I had in roads. Our roads in Kwekwe are deplorable, and I believe they can be fixed. I know the central government is taking all the money that we should be using to fix Ngima roads, but that's where our diplomacy is tested. How do we interact with central government? How can we make them see that they are killing local authorities by taking all the money through Zinara? Maria told us that Vafana, end up with my local authorities to repair roads. It's in town. So those are the major things to now affect our clinics, schools, we must have functional clinics. Those are ongoing projects. We must improve healthcare delivery. We must improve the number and quality of schools within the city, both primary and secondary schools. Secondary that's another legacy issue that we had in mind.
You had been elected UCA's president.
Yes.
Anything you would like to say about that? Considering Magarikole Omzad Mambo Gara any festivity.
The week we recalled, in fact, was just 1 week before. The week we were meant to go and see the minister, introduce ourselves as UCAS to the minister, a courtesy call, but also present my issues, Zema councillors to the minister. There are a lot of welfare issues, Zema ministers. For example, I don't know if the residents of Kwekwe know that allowance ya councillor Kwekwe is roughly at the moment about $9 a month. $9 a month. That's what it is pegged at. And when we had a meeting with the minister about 3 weeks ago in Harare, as a group, it wasn't a one-on-one kind of thing. When we had that meeting as all councillors and mayors within the country, that matter was raised. The minister was agreeable to listening to the matter and to hear our submissions. Now UCAS has been formed, where the body that represents all the councillors in the country. We're going to now approach the minister with the issues. And bingo, we are Tshabangu.
Before meeting the minister.
So that was a major deliverable for the councillors and the mayors whom we represent. Because if we don't do that, you cannot end corruption. Some of the corruption we have is because of the conditions of certain. Councillors do a lot. I take a funeral, and a councillor. Councillor for $9 a month.
So how much do you think must be given to councillors?
No, I can't say. But what I can tell you that is the standing resolution which was made before I was a councillor. It was made several years ago, in fact many years ago. And I got to know about it at the meeting we had with the minister 3 weeks ago or so. A former UCAS president. The minister Makati promised but the allowance, young councillors must be about 50% of what you give to the MPs. Now that's an agreement that was entered into before our time. So it's a starting point because it was an agreement that was entered into. So you start negotiating from that position with the minister.
Going forward. Are you going to contest again in what term?
I'm still thinking about it. It's not up to me. It's really up to my party. But as a template that the party has been using so far, every illegally recalled MP or councillor must stand again and defend the people's vote. It's no longer about me. It's now about the people who elected me and Triple C into council. And we feel we should not let those people down. We should not be sissy. We should not be seen to run away from the battle. We go back to the people and say, this is what ZANU-PF has done. We want to show them again that you still want to retain your councillor the way it was.
Michelle, anyway, okay. As we're concluding, anything which you'd like to add?
Well, this discussion would be incomplete without thanking the citizens of Kwekwe in general, but Ward 10 in particular, for electing me their councillor. I thank all the councillors for having the confidence in me to make me mayor. I want to thank all the mayors of Zimbabwe for having the confidence in me to elect me the UCAS president. I don't take that for granted, and I thank all the leadership in the country for that. And I want to say I'm sorry, we haven't let you down. It's just the regime which is panicking. The regime, they don't know how to survive now. So we'll watch and see. They will stumble and fall on their own.
Thank you very much, Doctor.